So thank you very much. Thank you to the organizer for giving me a chance to share some thoughts here. I know that our time is a bit behind us, behind the schedule. I just want to share just a little bit. I'll try to make it very short, just to get some some essence of the issues that we are facing. Now, Dato' Sri MB, I don't know whether he's here, but I've been talking, Dato' Sri, talking about tiada terpinggal, tiada terpinggir. Basically, no one should be left behind. But interestingly, the real problem of growth is that whenever there are growth, there's always someone left behind. So my role here is actually how to propose to put some ideas, probably how best to make sure that no one left behind. But that problem is not only a problem of Perak, but it's a problem of all over the world. So don't blame Dato' Sri MB for anyone left behind for now. A very nice view. The reason I put this up because I was closely working with Chief Minister nearly about 10 years ago. It was somewhere in 2009 where we crafted this Aman Jaya development plan for Negeri Perak. And it's so nice to see some of this progress. For many of you who probably have not seen that, just a quick way of looking at it, these are all the trust. Sorry, it is in Bahasa, but pretty much looking at quality opportunities, quality living, and also quality income. So basically, it is not just about income, but it has to be translated into quality of living, as mentioned earlier by our Tuanku, that, progress are beyond just about being richer. Now, I'll show you a glimpse of Perak economy. Again, allow the economists up here, me, to explain it. So don't make conclusion by just seeing the numbers. Because the good thing about economics is that it can make you confused. And it can tell you a lot of stories with the same numbers, and they can put a different stories to it. So some of this might be scary, but I'll put it up so that we understand the context of where is it coming from. Now, this is a story of Perak. On the upper left, up there, basically what you see, the good thing, congratulations, Chief Minister, that growth in Perak is remarkable. Growth is great. But the real challenge for Perak, as rightly mentioned by Tuanku, I think after the keynote when we were outside just now, is that how to make sure that growth goes to everybody, as many as possible. And you see that this is the case of Malaysia, it's not only Perak. What you see is that, look at the dotted line, horizontal, those are the commonly cited average for Malaysia. And what you see, there's a lot of bar charts that is underneath that dotted line. What does it mean? It means that we recorded good growth, the macro number shows very good, but we do have problem with respect to how to make sure that it trickles down to as many as possible. So this challenge of growth is not only uniquely Perak, neither uniquely Malaysia, but this is a unique problem of a growth process by itself. Therefore, the answer, in short, I would like to share with you is that the design of growth has to be right. We cannot come in with patches of things, meaning that design for growth and doesn't look at the distribution side and then comes in later on and try to patch where are the holes of this. So quickly, what it says to me is that the way I look at it from the economic standpoint is that there is a good growth in Perak. In fact, there are a couple of other states have a very good growth. Any numbers on the upper left charts above the horizontal line shows that growth are higher than the growth of Malaysia. But when you look at the rest of the three charts, you see that there are some issues with respect to how growth benefits as many people. Now this is again Perak, the size of bubble is reflecting the state of agriculture. Surely Perak is not so much being categorized as agriculture, but you see down there that the moment Malaysia is up there, right in the middle there, and then anything to the left and bottom, meaning that productivity-wise, there's some chasing that need to be done. Now, again, if you look at this in terms of the education, this is a challenge. Concentration of highly educated workers are concentrated on the upper right quadrants. And what you see down there in the colored charts, actually it should be animated. But anyway, what you can see there is that, again, this is a subject that was hotly debated earlier in the concurrent session in the morning, that participations of women, those in greenish means the participation of women is low. But again, I would like to caution you to interpret this number because these are formal numbers. I keep on telling that when my wife do my laundry, it didn't get into GDP. When I send my laundry to the laundry services, it gets into GDP. So be careful with economists. They calculate numbers for some reason and sometimes they omit quite a bit. Because in Malaysia, the informal sector are huge. You know, informal sectors probably maybe around 60% of the economy maybe. And some of these informal sectors are not entering all those formal numbers and so on. But anyway, if you want to plot it up, that's what you see. The interesting part that you see is that high income locations basically have more participation of women. Again, please do not assign causation yet. I mean, it's not necessarily that high income causing more women, neither is that women do cause high income. So please be careful about that conclusion. Now this is again quickly, very much services. Actually in Malaysia, almost all states have a large services. Sometimes people wrongly concluded saying that, oh, we have a lot of services, therefore we high income. No, it is wrong. Because when you talk about services, what matters is that what kind of services that you are doing. If you are doing a low-end services, a simple retailing and so on, that is not the kind of services that will take us to become a developed nation or advanced nation. We need different kind of services. Okay, my last chapter, dispersing benefits of growth. This is a real challenge. Of course, I don't want to overpromise you. If I really have the answer, probably I will not be here. I should be somewhere at the World Bank, leading the World Bank. But this is a problem. The reason that the World Bank are created pretty much in simple thing is that growth is not benefiting everyone. There are groups of people being left behind, and great that in Perak that become a main mantra for economic growth. What I would like to propose is basically to bring down the growth to a lower level. Basically, growth process has to be designed not just merely a top-down approach, but it has to be brought something from downside and take into account the strength of the district and localities. Growth and competitiveness are micro. You cannot make plan for growth just in Putrajaya or just in Ipoh. It has to be brought down to Bagan Dato, it has to be brought down to Parit Bunta, to Taiping and so on. So we have to task the leadership at the district level so that they understand what is growth all about. And it has to create density. District focus, localization, and data-centric. Data is pretty much the next oil that we need. Every one of us, if you work without data, you are doomed to failure. Data is very important. Data collection, data coordination, data way of how to put all this analytic matters very much in terms of how you want to push for growth. Let's not worry about this. I mean, a little bit too much. Okay, just a little bit at the end of it. This is my second last slide. Please grab this book by Hidalgo at MIT. This is a very interesting way of looking at how the economy is growing from the perspective of data. You know, a lot of us actually, we didn't really pick this up very well. What you see is that products, basically, if you look at the products, the product that you make is actually telling you what capabilities that you have. And these products are connected to each other. And what capabilities you have will determine where you go next. That's why when we look at the case of Perak, for example, sometimes back, we have a huge mining industries, but then where do we go after that? I mean, if it is today, where do we go from here? There are dynamics into it. So for example, a quick example is that, you know, if you are good at doing furniture, many would think that what you need to do next, basically, if you have timber, you do furniture, and so on and so on. Many feel that if you have oil palm, then you go into oleochemical and so on. But actually, the product space thinking is not like that. Products are not connected by the raw ingredients. Products are connected by capabilities. So meaning that if you are good at cutting, then it's not about doing something else with what you cut, but you have to think about what else that need to be cut. So the capabilities, the way to grow is very important, and creating densities in the cities are very important. Economy grew by network. I saw Dr. Reza out there, huge 7 so-called growth areas that you're looking at, fantastic, but very important that for each one of them to draw the cluster map, to make sure the industries are connected. I'm a little bit concerned when to see halal industry next to solar industries. I can't see how they are connected. So we have to think about it, how to make sure that industries are connected and the clusters surrounding it are well defined. This is, I hope to see in Kuala Kangsar, in all the districts. The DOs must know very well how many companies. Let me check all the DOs here. Do you know how many students from your district enter my university in what field? Most likely you don't know. So if you want to build marine industries, if you want to build tourism, we want to know how many kids from that area goes into tourism program in whatever universities. I mean, these are micro data. We need to have observatory of the districts to get into more. Okay, this is final one. I know I'm doing like that. Economic development. One, don't measure in terms of development should not be measured as to buy. We tend to look at purchasing power, at income as a measure of progress. But this framework tells that look at the ability of what they can make rather than what they earn. Because sometimes you see that when products are not complex enough, they might have earned high income, but they are not able to produce complexity. This is products, within product, there are information move around with the products. And then finally, geographies. This is very important. I think the next moving forward for Perak and many other states in Malaysia, in many developing countries, is to take the geography of growth very seriously. You have to bring down the growth process to the districts. You cannot plan from the top and just leave it like that. It has to be involved people from the bottom. And finally, information. If any one of you are not without a smartphone now, please make sure you get one. You are already obsolete. Thank you very much.